We're here today with Jackie again, having done our interview at the town hall, but this time we're going to have a little bit of a personal conversation about how you started and so on. So, what would you say started you dancing?
Oh, thanks, Gary. First of all, it's nice to be back. What made me start dancing? Well, my mum took me to a dance class when I was about 4 or 5. Actually, it wasn't ballroom, it was ballet and tap. That got me into it, and I did that for over 10 years up until I was.
So you had a good base grounding then, didn't you?
Yeah, fantastic school. If I can mention that, was the Barbara Roberts School of Dance.
Barbara Roberts, I know that. That's on this side, isn't it?
It is on the Wirral, yes.
Yeah, is she still going?
The school is still going. Barbara retired a number of years ago, and then her daughter took over the school.
Right.
And now I believe it's passed on again, but they're still using the Barbara Roberts.
So
school
did you have a break before you after that?
Bit of a long story, really. Stopped dancing ballet and tap about 15 academic studies, basically. Did my GCSEs, then A-levels, then went down the university route, which probably not a lot of people know, and then dancing just kind of slipped if you like.
Be careful, it goes to one side, doesn't it?
Yeah, so sort of fast forward a few more years after that and graduated from university, came back to the Wirral as it goes, started job at Unilever, which is fantastic, and then it was a friend of my dad's actually, sadly no longer with us, who loved dancing, and my dad suggested I go with him to a salsa class at the time.
Right, because he was very musical, your dad, wasn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah,
he was a musician, wasn't he?
He was ukulele aficionado, yeah, fantastic.
George Formby.
So I hit her, so there I take myself along to Telford's Warehouse it was, in Chester, with my dad's friend Sterling. 1 week there, and the love of dance was back. Yeah.
So you did 10 years first.
10 years first,
and
ballet.
Then you came back. So how long is it since you've been back dancing?
That must have been 22, 23 when I started dancing again, salsa. And then did that for a good number of years, and then met a good friend of mine, Leon Willams, who lives down south. I was talking to him, how can I get better at salsa? Well, the best bit of advice he ever gave me was, he at the time he said, Jack, I tell my students, do a different form of dance.
Yeah.
And I think it was possibly in the early days of Strictly. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go along to.
It inspired everybody, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to go and have a go at Ballroom.
All the pros said it wouldn't work. I remember when it started, 2004, and we were at Southport, and they all said, rubbish, never work.
Oh, I think even the BBC was surprised at how successful it was very, very quickly. Anyway, so then I found myself going along to a ballroom class, thinking, and I contacted Martin School of Dance, and it was during the summer, and they said, the new term starts in September, so I kind of hung on for
so
maybe
you started over
6. I did start over at Liverpool. Yeah. I think it happened to be somebody had recommended it, I can't remember who. Yeah. And then, so I find myself there thinking, oh my God, I'm back to beginners. Not beginners again. Having done salsa at that point for what felt like over 10 years. Well, it probably wasn't, but I was out 4 or 5 nights a week at that point, to the point my boss at work said to me, you do seem slightly distracted, because I was so tired going everywhere and anywhere to salsa, even over to Manchester, clubbing till 2 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday night.
The clubs,
yeah. And then I discovered the ballroom, thinking, oh great, more Latin dances, and actually a personal preference, I think I prefer the standard ballroom dances now, but I never look back. I do love salsa and I love the salsa music, but
so what is your favourite dance?
My favourite two, really.
Two, yeah, I've got
I think, well, or maybe three. I think historically it's salsa because that's what brought me into it.
Back to it.
But if that, dare I say, is a bit of a young man's thing or young person's dance. So my favourites are, I think, on a regular basis, it's got to be Quick Step, social.
Yeah.
But absolute personal favourite, which you can't do too many of, is Viennese waltz. And I don't know if it's an age or a fitness.
We have had the odd Viennese waltz from the town hall, haven't we?
We have. Depends on how hot it is, and I kind of know a lot of the dancers now, so make sure that there's enough to make it
So
worthwhile.
what year did you actually turn professional?
Ooh, good question. I think it was 2019, 2018.
Right, so you've been, 6-7 years now?
No, it's going to be more than that, Gary, actually, because I've had the business for 8 years, so it might be 10 years. About 2016, I think it was. Yeah.
So what would you say was your best achievement in your teaching and your dances and whatever?
There's a couple, really. I think I do love the social aspect of it. There's kind of, as I see it, two sides to my business.
Yeah.
There's the classes, which I love teaching, and that's what kind of made me leave the job that I was doing at the time to set up the business.
It's a big decision.
It was absolutely huge. I took redundancy, set up the business, marrying something that I was passionate about with my love of helping people and teaching them. And I get a huge amount of satisfaction from seeing people enjoying themselves, learning the new steps when the penny drops and it all starts to work, and that really is quite rewarding.
I think one of the things that you actually do is you've remembered that we're entertainers. We're not just dancers. We actually entertain people. And there's not many that actually do that. And you add that into the way you do things.
Oh, right. I've never thought about it like that, to be fair, but I do. I think that may well come as well. Like when I started dancing initially with Barbara Roberts, I never went down the competition route because we did stage shows.
Yeah.
So I do like that, and I think you're right. When
it comes into
I am
your classes
performing.
and your dances.
Yeah. I love what I do, and I just hope that it brings a bit of energy to the class, and a lot of people potentially when they come into dancing haven't had a good experience with learning, whether it's dance or something else, or it's been a long time since they've learned, and there's part of your brain that you need to tune into.
Need to get going again.
Yeah, so it can take a while.
I do personally think as well some of them forget that they're there to be entertained. They're looking at some of the expressions on their faces. It's like, I look and I think, just relax and enjoy it.
Relax and enjoy.
When we go to the town hall, I'll guarantee you every time we go, someone will come up and go, "You two don't half enjoy yourself, don't you?" And I go, "That's what we're here for. We're here to dance and enjoy ourselves."
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I do try and encourage my people to do is to allow themselves to make a mistake. I think often when you're starting a beginner's class, nobody wants to go wrong. Well, obviously you don't want to go wrong psychologically, but that's how you learn.
So which one is your most successful project, would you say? The teaching or the town halls or the functions? Because you do functions as well, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I do love that. I think in terms of success, I'm going to say it's the tea dances and the socials, because it was an aspect of my business that wasn't even on the radar when I first started.
Right, so
it was something, it didn't even occur to me that was a requirement, and the tea dances in particular.
Because there's nothing on the world.
You took the words out of my mouth there, Gary, that there is literally, I didn't realise I'd tapped a market that I didn't know existed. I think other people as well didn't realise how much they wanted to dance. If I'm going to do a shameless plug now, every Friday afternoon in West Kirby we have 40 plus dancers at a tea dance.
That must be a fairly big venue.
It's a reasonable sized hall. I started off with I think about 5 couples, and we've been going there about 6 years. And if we got up to sort of 15 people, we were really excited. Now 30, 40 people.
Do you have to book for that?
consistent.
Is that the one you have to book?
No, that's go and
Just turn up.
pay on the door. Yeah, and that one's pretty much grown by word of mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we first saw it, you must have been doing your advertising on Facebook, and I said to him, there's something on at Hume Hall here, I've never seen this before. And we'd just been banned by a certain organisation, or by a certain committee.
So you're looking for somewhere to go.
Doesn't want you here anymore. So we were looking for somewhere to go and dance.
Yeah, Hume Hall's fantastic, and I think as well, when I was at university, not many people don't know this, but I was social secretary of the Hall of Residence that I was in.
Right.
So I think that kind of organising the events tapped into something I hadn't done for a good while. Yeah. And so it felt like all the pieces of the jigsaw were like fitting together. So I love all things I do. You get a different satisfaction from the big venues. Are really nice to see a lot of people there together and having a nice big function. The tea dances, it's great to catch up with all the regulars. And dare I say it, every now and again I can get a few dances in there myself. Yeah.
So what would you like to say to all the people who come to your venues and your dances?
I think a huge thank
you. Keep coming.
Okay, apart from, don't forget, we're still here. The only time I'm not here is during the holiday times. And I did jokingly say once, when I retire, to which somebody says, "You can't retire. Where are we going to go dancing?" It is a huge thank you, and I think I say it a lot to them in the classes that I truly am living the dream and I can't do it without the dancers. And if anyone has any suggestions for venues that they might want to do, then please do get in touch.
I believe there's a nice ballroom in Whitby that needs attention.
I'd love to be able to do an event there. I'm open to suggestions. I can't necessarily guarantee that I'll make it a reality. And the other thing to plug is that this year I've done classes. I do, obviously I do private tuition as well. I am training my helpers to do their professional exams. So that's something that's new to me. I've done events, socials, and for the last couple of years people have asked me about the dance holiday.
I was going to say you're doing holidays.
Yeah, so that is something that's new for this year. So we are fully booked, I'm pleased to say, for my holiday or my weekend in October. There's one which I'm doing in July, and then I have dates booked for next year. But if anyone has suggestions for a hotel which is not too far away, I've got hotels booked. I guess the next stage, Gary, dare I say it, is to go down the cruise route, but in the end there's only so
big adventure there.
I have a lot of other events to organise, and there's me, and behind me are a lot of fantastic helpers, and they're other people that who you are. There's too many to mention. That without you, I really can't do this. When I first started, I was a one-man or a one-woman show. Yeah, you've got the regulars who come and help you set up and whatever. Yeah. So for those people, thank you, and thank you, dancers, and we will see you in class or at the next event. The next two. Say goodbye to the people. All right, goodbye everyone. Bye. And keep dancing.